Check, check, check. Okay.
I remember growing up, all I wanted was to be a grown up. Now I'm grown up. Now I'm grown up. Now I'm grown up.
Oh, hey. So Avery here with a little bit of an update about Grown Up and this podcast and what's happening with this podcast and why I haven't published and on any kind of regular schedule. Because people keep asking me, what's happening with Grown Up? When do I get a new episode? What's coming next? What are you going to do? And so I thought the best thing to do would just be to do what I tell any of my podcasting students to do or journalism students to do, which is just be really super honest with your audience and always tell them what's happening, keep in communication with what's going on with your podcast, and make sure they feel involved and feel like they know what's happening. And so I thought that this might be a good opportunity just to kind of like hop on unscripted. You know I love scripts, but I also like just kind of going off the cuff. And talk to you a little bit about why I haven't posted and what's coming next for Grown Up. There's an obvious reason for why I haven't posted, and I think you can probably guess what it is, but, I was doing real well with this every 2 weeks. This is a passion project of mine that I fit in the middle in between podcast projects I'm making for other people and writing and teaching and all these kind of things. And so honestly, the every 2 weeks is a grind for me, but I was happy to do it because this is such a passion project for me to do. But COVID-19, I feel super lucky to be in the position I'm in, for all of us to be healthy and working and safe and able to stay home because so many others aren't. And so I have been since March home with a toddler. It's just the way it shook out and it was me who had to stay home and we've had a lot of fun. It's been challenging. She and I have adventured, we've fought, we've cried, we've napped, we've not napped, we've done all the things, but working nights and weekends, the thing that gets dropped is the thing that's not making you an income. So I've been working nights and weekends, or my partner, Jason, my husband, has been like really filling in the gaps when I needed to get something done during the day, which I'm super, super grateful for. But when you're working nights and weekends, it's a grind. And the thing that you're not going to work on is the thing that's not making you money. And I've been very fortunate through COVID-19 to have audio work come in. I know that. I'm super grateful for that. But one of the sad parts has been that I haven't been able to bring you this podcast on a regular basis. And I'm sorry for that. And I want to bring more. And so I'm getting daycare back slowly. And that's giving me a little bit more freedom to do the kind of passion projects that I really love. And top of that list is Grown Up. So actually, I did get 2 episodes in since the beginning. You should go back and listen to them. They're great episodes. The Content Creator with Gajan Balan and The Hollywood Success Coach with Erica Wernick. Loved those episodes. And they came right at the right time for me when I really just needed like a boost of creative energy. And that really helped get those 2 episodes done and published. And now I have actually, through isolation, done 5 virtual interviews that I know you're really, really gonna love. I just need the time to put them together. So here's what we're gonna do. I am going to take a scheduled break from Grown Up until about mid-January. So let's say this is a season finale. We're going to wrap up season 1 and come back at you with season 2 in January. Those 5 episodes that I have keyed up are really, really important to me. They're a really, really diverse group of wonderful entrepreneurs and creative humans and people who've just really gone for it, who've faced challenges and overcome, who've pivoted, who've shifted, and who also have been really affected by COVID-19. And so those episodes are coming at you in 2021. Somehow it feels like January 2020 was 2 months ago and also 20 years ago. So I sounds super weird to say January 2021, but that's what we're working with. So I'm really excited to bring you those episodes. And if you haven't listened to all the episodes in this season, I've poured so much love into them, and I really hope that you'll go back and listen and then get ready for season 2 in January 2021. This is my promise. It's in audio, and nothing means more to me than a promise made in audio. So I just want to say quickly where I want this podcast to go. You know, this podcast could last 2 seasons. That could be totally fine. I'd be totally happy with that. But what I would love to do with this podcast is to actually do in-depth work following people in what they do and creating more narrative documentary style episodes. If it were up to me and I was getting paid to do this, that is how I would do this. I'm highly trained in radio documentary. It's my passion. It's where I love to exist. I love telling narrative stories with sound and music clips and actually experiencing someone with something. So one day, if I can figure out a way to monetize this podcast, that's where I'm going. I want to follow people doing the job that they love or the work that they hate or, you know, the thing that gets them by until they're where they want to be, and bring you those stories of people, regular people, amazing, wonderful, enthusiastic, talented people who are doing the work that's getting them to where they want to be, and writing those stories and cutting those clips and collecting that sound in person. And obviously that's something that's a little bit rough to do in the current world, but that's where I'm aiming. So if anyone has any ideas for me about how to get there, please share away. But know that that's what I'm doing. You know, I'm bringing you these stories for now with a little bit of narrative and then some interview. But where I'm really heading with this is to do full profiles of people. And I just needed to start. At some point, you know, I had to stop saying to myself, it's not possible to get the kind of tape you want and to have the time to make a documentary narrative podcast. But that's where I want to go. And so, you know, maybe one day when I grow a bigger audience, then, you know, you wonderful people who are listening to this now, I'll be able to monetize that and spend a little bit more time on this podcast. Or, hey, if there's anyone out there who wants to sponsor this podcast to make that happen, listen, I'm watching for you. I'm waiting for you. I'm ready for you. Okay. Anyways, all cards on the table. Basically, in summary, COVID-19 sucks. I hope you're all doing well. I hope that the work you're doing has been able to continue, and that if it hasn't, you've been able to pivot and find something that works for you in your life right now. I hope you're healthy. I hope you're enjoying podcasts more than ever. There's more shows, there's more audience, like let's hit it. And I just wanted to be clear, and I wanted to be honest, and I wanted to be transparent, because that's where I'm at. And I am so, so, so grateful to both the people who tell me their life stories, their work stories on this podcast, and to you who listen to it, because I felt so much love from this podcast, from you listeners, and from people who have volunteered to be peppered with questions by the person who never runs out of questions. But yeah, I won't drag this on. I love y'all. Can't wait to make more audio for you. And until then, I'll be working on my Folktale Studio projects and waiting for some more time in my day to make this happen. Thanks for listening. Stay safe.